Control statements are one of the most important lectures in this course. After you are done watching all the lectures in this section, you will have good understanding of how to write a logical solution of a problem. I have divided control statements into 3 lectures. This is the first one. Let's get started. Before looking into control statement, let's see what a statement is about. In computer programming, a statement is the smallest standalone element in the code that express some actions to be performed. It could be declaring a variable, printing a string in the console, or getting value from a mathematical expression. Now, a control statement is a kind of statement that determines the flow of program execution, whether to branch, loop, or move to different statement. There are 3 types of control statements: selection, iteration, and jump. Selection statements determine the flow of next statement based on a condition. There are 2 types of selection statements: if and switch. Here is the example of ternary operator that we have seen earlier. We can achieve the same result with an if statement. It looks like this. Let's first compare similarities between 2 codes. Both have a section to write condition. These sections will be executed when the condition is true, and these sections will be executed when the condition is false. Now let's see the differences. Ternary operator by itself is not a standalone statement. We can only use it as an expression, where if is a standalone statement. Parentheses in the condition section of a ternary operator are optional, where you have to write parentheses in an if statement. In the true or false sections of a ternary operator, we cannot write a complete statement, like assigning a variable. But in an if statement, we can do that. Else part is optional. Initially, we can assign false to canVote variable and only assign true when the age is greater than or equal to 18. When there is only one statement in the true or false section, the curly braces are optional. I always prefer to write braces in all cases. When you have multiple statements to execute, curly braces around the code block are must. Let's write down the Java code from the flowchart that we have seen in the previous lecture. First, I am declaring and assigning an integer variable x. For the decision diamond, I am writing the condition inside an if statement. When the condition is true, I am printing a text voter. Otherwise, I am printing the text non-voter inside the else section. See, it was much easier to understand and write the code with the help of a flowchart. For solving a complex problem, you can write another if-else block inside the true or false part of an if statement. It is called nested if. Let's see how it looks like with a flowchart. When the condition 1 is true, it executes statement 1 and then moves to another decision block. When the condition 2 of second diamond is true, it executes statement 2 inside it. After that, the program ends. When the condition 2 is false, it executes statement 3. The program also ends after that. Now let's go back to condition 1. When it is false, it executes statement 4 and then goes to end terminal. This flowchart looks cool to me, isn't it? When you have multiple conditions to check, you can add another section between if and else. It is called else if. Let's see how it works. In this example, I want to see month name from a month number. When the number is 1, I want to print January. For 2, February, and so on. For an invalid number, I want to display not available text. Here I declared month number as an integer variable month. I assigned month name inside a string variable called name. When month variable has value 1, I am assigning January into name variable. If the value is 2, I am assigning February. Rest of the code is similar for all other months. When the value is not between 1 to 12, I am assigning not available text into name inside the else block. Finally, I am printing the value of name variable. Try changing the value of month from the first line. You will see corresponding month name in the console output. Now we have reached to the last part of this lecture. It is called switch statement. When you need to execute statements based on the value of one variable or an expression, switch is the way to go. We can replace left side code block with a better one. This is the perfect example where switch is preferable over if-else statements. Let's write the code side by side. Unlike an if statement, write your variable inside a condition after the switch keyword with a parenthesis. Whole code goes under one curly brace pair. After a keyword case, write the value that you need to compare. Then add a colon. In the next line, add your statement. You can write as many statements as you need. After you are done with the first case, add a keyword called break with a semicolon. Same steps goes for all other cases. Write your statements that will execute when the value will not match with any cases after a keyword called default with a colon. Here is the complete syntax of switch. You can use other data types or an expression with a switch statement. Make sure you add break after the end of each case. Otherwise, it will execute all statements from the next case. There are few scenarios where you can write cases without any break. Now write down both codes in your IntelliJ editor and spend some time by tweaking them.